Well, welcome back to Mrs. P. What is for tea? I've got a bit of leftover bolognese sauce with spaghetti bolognese last night. Just a very quick meal. It was too hot to do a roast yesterday, so I've got a little bit of leftover bolognese sauce. Me and Mr. P would quite happily have spaghetti bolognese again. Mr. P's at home. Story about that I'll tell you in a minute. But what I thought I'd do is I've got some cannelloni left over, and I've got a cheesy baked sauce that wants using up. So what I thought I'd do is I'll just make some cannelloni. So the bolognese sauce comes from a big cook that we did in maybe February. We're coming to the end of that big cook. We intend to go to Costco on our week's holiday in June, and we'll do a big meat shop and we will do a big cook then. So I will film that for you. So for cannelloni, I just put a tiny little bit of the sauce in the bottom of the pan. Just a little bit, just to kind of, just to lift it off the bottom. And then, this is quite fiddly, but you literally feed the bolognese sauce into the tubes. Sure, I'm teaching my granny to suck eggs here. To feed it in. That's it. So, why is Mr. P at home? So, we're getting ready last night for Mr. P to go back to work, packing up his car, putting his shirts in, doing the do. He goes into the medicine drawer to get his Dorset boxes for work, and guess who didn't pick them up? Well, that'll be me then. So, of course, today's bank holiday. I'm filming this on Monday. Today's bank holiday, so Mr. P cannot go to work. So I've got him at home today and tomorrow. Chemist isn't open today. I mean, it's absolutely my fault. Went to the chemist, picked up my prescription, picked up part of his, didn't ask for his Dorset boxes. Completely my fault. So he phoned up work, and to be honest, they were really good. They were really good. They know that he's got complex health issues, so he does take a huge amount of medication. Hence I'm very fussy about what he eats. And yeah, they were fine about it, luckily. He's got plenty of leave to take, so he's got a day's holiday today and a day's holiday tomorrow, which means he is under my feet. But never mind, eh? But I have to be honest, he's got out into my she shed, which is, it's where my sister-in-law and I have a reselling business on eBay called Store 47. And that is where we store all the stuff for that, all the bits and pieces that we sell on eBay. A lot of it's clothes. We do some car booting as well. What we do is we buy pallets and resell what we get on the pallets. We always buy mystery pallets. We never know what we're getting, and to be honest, that's part of the excitement of it all. It's part of the fun. You don't know what you're getting, so it's always quite an adventure when the pallet comes. Always comes here because I've got the space here, because obviously it's just me and Mr. P, and we had the shed put up specifically for that when I retired in September. So he's finished putting up the shelving today, so that's a job well done. And yeah, I've started moving about. I'm going to use one of them, I think, for my excess Costco stock, because I would rather go and do a huge Costco shop every, say, 6 months or so. And of course a lot of items are very bulky, so I would rather do that and have somewhere to put the bulkier items, just to store them, especially when things are on offer. I mean, at the moment, because it was a new brochure came out today, and one of my daughters has Hunt's ketchup, We're not big ketchup users, but she's got 2 little lads, so they are huge ketchup users. And that's on offer, 2 huge, I think they're about, they're over a litre bottles. It's $4.99. So I shall get her 4 of those, because she's saving £1 on 2 bottles, and it all adds up, doesn't it? So I might end up stocking it for her. At some point I'll show you how I keep my stock and what I stock and why I stock. I was brought up by elderly parents, even though I'm born in 1960 myself, which obviously makes me 26, as I'm sure you understand. My mother was born in 1918, my dad was born in 1911, so they were of the war generation. So my mother was a big firm believer in having a pantry, 3-month pantry, which I always did when the children were small. I always had a 3-month pantry. So when COVID hit, I mean, we were just not short of anything. And I know people laugh at me with my pantry and my stockpile, but I tell you what, when COVID hit and nobody could get tomato ketchup or nobody could get toilet rolls, all of a sudden it wasn't such a bad idea to have a stockpile. But now I tend to be more than a full 3-month stock. I tend to have one unopened item on the shelf when it comes to things like, well, I bought 2 of the dishwasher granules because I knew that I don't have one on the shelf, so we will open one in a few weeks when we come back round to the kitchen again. What will that be, 2 or 3 weeks? So we're bathroom and hallway this week. So when we come back round to the kitchen and we put a cleaner through our dishwasher, it is then that we will fill the rinse aid, fill the salt. It's done as a matter of course every 5 weeks. Our dishwasher only gets used about 4 times a week, even though it's only a slimline one, because it's just the 2 of us. And normally Monday to Friday it's just me, so, and we do most of our cooking at the weekend because, to be honest, I don't tend to cook for myself. Got a bit of sauce left there, so I'm just going to lift up these and put some more sauce underneath, just to allow it to cook. So that's just turning a little bit of leftover sauce into another meal. As I say, we would quite happily have had spaghetti bolognese again today, but it's just nice to use up some other bits, like that sauce needs using up. So there we go. That's the shells filled with the sauce underneath. And what I'm going to do is open this jar, if I can, and pour that over. Okay, be back with you shortly. Okay, had to get Mr. P to open my jar. I broke my wrist about 8 years ago, and I can't grip now with that hand. So over the cannelloni shapes, I just put a bit of that white sauce. There's about half a jar left, so I'm going to do roast tomorrow, and I'll just do some cauliflower and broccoli cheese, use up that sauce. I've also taken a 4-blend cheese. I think this was from Asda, maybe. It might have been from Asda. So it was from Asda. So it was in the freezer. So I took it out of the freezer yesterday. So really, I want to use that today. So I shall put half of that on here, and the other half, with the other half of the sauce, we'll make Mr. P a nice cauliflower cheese tomorrow. He likes cauliflower cheese, and I've got some cauliflower and broccoli in the fridge to use up. So that's it, ready to go in the oven. cannelloni. I'm going to do some jacket potatoes with it, and that will be what we have for tea on a bank holiday Monday. Easy way to use up a few leftovers, a few staples from off your shelf, and you've got another meal. Lovely job. So we're going to have jacket potatoes with the cannelloni. I've got 4 small jacket potatoes, and what I've done is I have just rolled them in a little bit of olive oil. My cooker is on, so they're going to go in the roasting oven. I'll give them about half an hour and then I'll add the cannelloni. But I'll add the cannelloni, I'm going to cover that in tin foil when it goes into the oven, and then I'll take the tin foil off for maybe the last, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. So that I'm going to cover in tin foil, ready for the oven. And of course that sauce and that's just soaking into that dry pasta. So I'll get these in. Do you know, actually I think I'll give them 15 minutes because they're quite small, and then I'll add the cannelloni. Okay, so the jacket potatoes have had about 15 or so minutes. Just going to have a wee look at them, see how they're progressing. They are quite small actually. Oh yeah, you're doing well. Roll them over. So as they soak up that oil. I gave them a bit of a pierce with a knife before I put them in. And I'm just going to put the cannelloni with the tin foil. You see that? Is that a bit bright? On the same tray. And put the tray back in the roasting oven. It's on roasting, not baking. And I'm going to put it on the second set of runners. Give that another half hour or so, and then we'll have a look and take the tin foil off the cannelloni just to finish off the cheese on the top. Okay, so that's had about half an hour. Let's have another wee look. Oh, jacket potatoes are doing well. So I'm just going to take the tin foil. Ooh, that looks nice. You see that? I really just want to bubble up the cheese that's on top. I might actually put another wee bit of cheese on that. Hold that thought. Just put another wee sprinkling the 4 cheese blend on top of there. Lovely. What do you think? Look good? So I'll pop that back in the oven. Another, maybe we'll give it a look in about 15 minutes. It's going on row 2 of the runners. And just give that just a chance to crisp up a little bit, and then we'll have a look again. So there we go. Cannelloni and jacket potatoes. Made up with some leftover bolognese sauce, and that's another meal created. So I'll show you it once it's plated up, but with cannelloni or lasagna, I like to leave it to sit for about 5 or 10 minutes. It kind of solids up a little bit, and it doesn't tend to fall to pieces as much when you go to serve it. So I'm going to let that sit for about 10 minutes, and then I will be dishing that up. And there we go, cannelloni and jacket potatoes. And that's what Mrs. P has got for her tea on Bank Holiday Monday. So thanks very much for joining me today. I would love if you click the subscribe button and join the family, and we'll be back tomorrow with something new for dinner.